coach in the world. Some of it is he's handcuffed by his owner. Some of it is he's handcuffed by the personnel. Some of it he's handcuffed by the fact that he didn't call the defense. And some of it is his fault. And the same goes for Dak Prescott. So this whole he's a winner thing, if he was a winner.
To get the rest of what Doug said, podcast it by searching The Doug Gottlieb Show. And as always, you can hear The Doug Gottlieb Show weekdays at 3 Eastern, noon Pacific, right here on Fox Sports Radio. This is The Odd Couple with Chris Broussard and Rob Parker.
Dak Prescott did not sign an extension with the Cowboys. Whoop-de-doo.
Can you admit that you were
Can
wrong
I have
about
the
this?
mic? Sure, I'm a man. Yes, I was wrong. I thought they'd sign him. You happy? I'm a grown man. If I'm wrong, I'll admit it. Fine. I was wrong. I thought they'd sign him. So what? He's still about to play for $32 million. He played last year for $2 million. You think there's an issue? When he walked in the locker room last year, did everybody say, oh, look at his tail between his legs?
No, but that's a part of the CBA,
you
Chris.
had your
That ain't got nothing to do with last year. This was his chance to get paid, and they refused to pay him.
This is The Odd Couple with Chris Broussard and Rob Parker. Weekdays at 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific on Fox Sports Radio. Fox Sports Trending now.
Starting with breaking NBA news, Pelican star Zion Williamson has left the NBA's Orlando bubble to tend to what the team calls an urgent family medical matter. Zion plans to return for the season, restart at a later date, and of course, upon his return, he'll have to undergo another quarantine period before joining his team. And evidently, the NBA's players and personnel may not be taking safety protocols seriously enough. According to The Athletic, the NBA sent a memo to teams reminding them that interacting with or bringing unauthorized people onto the Disney campus is prohibited. The teams, in fact, are required to use next team meeting to reiterate the strength of that message. The Kings' De'Aaron Fox is out for at least 7 to 10 days with a sprained left ankle he suffered in Wednesday's practice. And the Memorial Tournament is underway. Tiger Woods tees off at about 1 Eastern. I'm Deb Carson.
Isn't it about time for somebody's favorite radio program?
The Tony Bruno Show.
The man chosen to save American radio from its horrible future.
He didn't invent radio. He just perfected it.
Tony Bruno Show with Harry Mays.
Parental discretion is advised.
The godfather of sports radio.
It is a final.
Here is Tony Bruno.
Tony Bruno.
Howdy, childrens. It's another hot, sticky day out there, and Harry Mays is visibly shaken, ladies and gentlemen. Let me put a parental guidance warning out there. The disclaimer before the show. Usually they do it after the show. I have to put a disclaimer out. Harry Mays could be very volatile on today's program. And yes, you know what made him volatile today, Miss Robin, coming in to the studio for today's broadcast festivities here in the Wine Cellar Studios in South Philadelphia?
What is that?
Not traffic.
Traffic?
Not traffic.
Parking?
Not parking. Golf. Harry Mays has been triggered by golf.
I don't
coming
know.
in here and absolutely apoplectic about the guy he gave you yesterday as the man to watch at the Memorial Tournament in Dublin, Ohio, DJ Dustin Johnson, Harry.
Well, I spent the morning watching something on television, and what I was watching wasn't golf, okay? It was a donkey show by three of the best players in the world. They combined, Tony, in this group for plus 16 in one round of golf.
I can do that with a bunch of schlubs that I don't even know.
I know.
Playing in a
down at the
charity
lakes.
event. I go down the lakes and get a bunch of strappers together and go out and go 16 over.
They look like strappers today. I'll tell you what, the first green, he four-putted from about 6 feet.
How many putts?
Yes.
Exactly. Will he be a trunk slammer tomorrow, though, Harry? That's the big question.
If he shoots, if he doesn't shoot 65, he's slamming his trunk. There's
on
no
a
doubt
Friday,
about it.
Yeah, but you know who he gets to go home to.
Yeah, I know, but I think that's part of the problem.
Wait a minute. Now, you're going to blame Wayne Gretzky's daughter, who's Dustin Johnson's wife?
I know. No, they're not married.
No, they're just living
They
together.
just got a couple kids together.
That's all right. Hey, you know, hey, that's how it works. That's how I roll. I don't, actually. So I didn't realize they never got married.
Yeah, I don't think they've never.
So you're going to blame Gretzky's daughter for
gotta blame
Dustin
somebody.
Johnson for putting at a big-time tournament? He hasn't played in a couple of weeks, has he?
He won 2 weeks ago.
I'm not saying he didn't play last week.
No, but that doesn't matter.
He's a world-class golfer. He's one of the top 5 in the world. And he goes out there and 4 putts and shoots 8 over?
8 over, shot 80. On the third hole, it's a par 3 over the water. The pin is back left. He hits it 23 yards to the right of the target and 20 yards short. Now, you don't see pros hit balls like that.
Hell, you don't see me hit balls like that.
Unbelievable.
Isn't that what Dustin Johnson does, though? I mean, what, in 2015, he had literally an improbable collapse at the U.S. Open, wasn't it?
Yeah, he's had his blow-ups in big tournaments, definitely.
He's king top 5.
Let me just say this, ladies and gentlemen, for all you youngsters out there and all of you people sitting at home and enjoying the program today, this is why I've been saying it my whole life. There's 2 things you don't do. You don't bet on baseball, and you don't bet on golf.
Oh, I'm going to bet 20 more times this weekend on this tournament.
Really, Harry?
Oh, yeah.
That's the thing, Tony.
That's what I do.
Wait a minute. A guy on the couch.
That's what he does, too.
The couch guy he's a gambling degenerate. He'll bet on anything.
Exactly.
No, all right. So
yeah,
listen.
you will.
Yeah, well, hey.
He's betting that I'm going to get a parking ticket today.
The odds are pretty good, Harry. If you're anywhere near or over a sign that says do no parking beyond this point, they'll ticket you.
Half of my hind end is sticking out of the sign.
And you're not supposed to get a ticket for that.
Yeah.
But guess what? If you do, they're going to hope that you go and fight it.
Right.
Because you have no chance of winning, and you're going to spend a day going over there and standing in line with a bunch of strappers hoping to save $27.
Right. Couch guy's got me at plus 400.
The odds are dropping quickly, too.
No, you're a massive favorite. You're minus 400
Oh, you think
to
so?
get a ticket.
Yeah.
That's why.
It's a lock.
And Harry's got a legal license
I have
plate.
a legal permit. I
do, too. I got tickets on my own street here. I have a parking ticket, which I pay for, a parking pass, and I was halfway across that post at the end of my street here. And by the way, there's like 50 yards before the corner. There's no fire hydrant. There's nothing there. And I got tickets, and then I had photographic proof that I was legally parked, and they wouldn't accept it. And that's when they booted my car. So, ladies and gentlemen, avoid Philadelphia at all costs.
It is a dump.
Well, it's always been a dump.
Yes.
But the dump is now good. Remember the dump, the store?
Yes. Oh,
everybody thought it was
stuff there.
Yeah, but when you heard the name the dump, what does it connote to you? It's like junky furniture.
Junky, ratty
It definitely
furniture.
does not connote something
But no, they
nice.
changed their advertising because everybody thought it was just a dump and there was crappy, scratched furniture, ripped. You got a ripped the cushion in there, so you buy it secondhand. No, they got first class stuff in there.
Yeah,
Aaron.
they do.
You're not getting a dump commercial.
Is that where you got the couch for a couch guy?
Hell no. We got that at like
Ray Moore and
No,
Flynn.
Yes.
get this. This couch was ordered off of Amazon. And the reason why is because it had to be, long story, it had to be a certain type. We wanted a sleeper sofa. It had to have certain dimensions so that it could fit through the front door.
And it doesn't have the bar down the middle
And
of
it
the
didn't have
mattress.
the bar down the
Jeff
middle and all
Bezos
this.
personally made sure we got this order before he's trying to run Dan Snyder out as the Redskins owner. Oh, I'm sorry. They're still the Redskins until their name changes to me, Harry.
Okay.
I'll say what I want. They're still the Washington Redskins.
Yeah.
Until they officially come up with a new name, what am I going to call them?
Hey.
What am I going to call them, Harry?
You see some of the rumored allegations.
Yes, we got to get to this.
Jesus.
This is really the top story.
Pimping out cheerleaders.
Allegedly, Harry.
Yes.
And pimping ain't easy.
No, I know.
So Dan Snyder, the Washington Post has the entire world on pins and needles today because there was a story floating around last night after everybody got hacked, by the way. And I want to tell everybody.
That was you, too.
I was hacked. You were here.
I witnessed it.
Yes. So the big story, before we get to Dan Snyder, because nothing's developing at this moment, and when it does, we'll break into regularly scheduled programming. So yesterday, at the end of the show, Harry and I are sitting around, and I'm going on Twitter and going back and forth with people because that's when I can't do it during the show. And all of a sudden I said, no, I don't.
You do it constantly.
I do not respond to tweets during the show, Harry. Never, ever, ever.
During the break.
No, I don't even do it during the break unless somebody directly has a question. and then I see it, and it's a legitimate question, but I'm not ripping people and pantsing them like I do after the show or at night when these strappers come at me, and then I have to put them in their places, Harry. I'm an adult.
At 6:01, you start pantsing.
No, I don't.
people.
We're recording till 6:30. So anyway,
he only does that 7 p.m. to 2 p.m.
Oh, is that right?
PM,
Okay.
yeah.
2 a.m.
Yeah, 2 a.m.
I was out of here. I wasn't on my phone 1 second after like 7 o'clock last night because we're down in the studio.
Right.
And so
you're trying to send a tweet,
yeah,
and it wouldn't go through.
And it put up this bar at the bottom.
Right.
This function is disabled.
And you thought you were being, what's that term?
Shadow banned and throttled, which
Yeah.
I have been because
Right.
there's no way. Because last night our own Ryan Rothstein did research. He went on and to see how many, because you guys rip me for being on Twitter all the time. How many people have viewed my tweets in the last month and a half or 2
How
months?
many million?
I regret my research, my amazing research.
Why do you regret it?
Well, because you're not going to be
Because
able to walk through the door now.
You're feeding the beast is what you're doing.
Feeding the beast. I keep telling you people I hate Twitter, but it's like a whore. You have to keep paying her, and she's the whore, and Twitter is an absolute whorehouse, and you keep giving it money, and I don't even have to pay to whore it out.
Yeah.
So are you saying
have credit? You have credit?
I
at
have
the
credit,
whole-
yes.
Are
I
you
have
saying
a
you're
running
addicted?
account.
It's got a credit line.
You got a marker.
And so I use Twitter like the whore that it is.
Yeah.
Well,
And so I
she's
use
been
it
paying
to
back.
promote the show and to promote and keep people in line and educate the public and pass along real scientific information rather than just scurrilous misinformation like the rest of the media does.
Exactly. Now, how many impressions
Yes.
did he have?
Because he even asked me, and I didn't know this. I said, he's telling Robin, wow, do you know how many people have followed Tony or have looked at his tweets? And then he even asked me, I said, what, 1 million, 2 million?
I said 5
did
million.
I did the research, and
I said
polled
a
the
million.
room. Yeah, you said 1 million. I think Miss
I
Robin
think
said
said 2.
I said 5.
You said
5 million?
And this is, just to be clear here, extensive research. April 6th is the first day of the show, right?
Correct.
Up until yesterday, July 15th, 23 million with an M.
Wow.
Million.
Wow.
I rest my case, Your Honor.
And listen, you had over 12 million in a 30-day period the past month.
You're not helping.
I know I'm not. But hey, they're impressive stats.
No, what that proves is that you people who give me crap about going on Twitter don't understand marketing. Robin was a marketing expert. That's what she did for a living. Do you understand what I'm doing on Twitter?
I do.
I'm not only educating the masses, I'm not only keeping politicians in place, I'm growing the show.
In my
I'm
defense,
growing the show.
In my defense,
In your
I want you to be able to continue doing this, and I don't want you shut down.
Right.
That is why sometimes
I know where the line is, Robin.
Okay.
I know where the line is.
Clearly, you
I
know.
walk the line.
Yes, I know.
Because you're mine.
Clearly, you are a
dance around it.
regular whorehouse Twitter or visitor.
All right, speaking of horse, let's get it back to Dan Snyder.
Right.
As we used to say back when we used to get it back to the Eagles, because our program director would come in and scream at us.
No, but to finish that, when you were trying to send that tweet, and I'm watching
okay,
this
you're
blue
right.
bar come up, and it had a message on it saying that it wouldn't allow you to
Right.
send the tweet. You thought that you were being shut down
Yes.
Exactly.
by Mayor Kenny's people.
Probably, yeah.
That's what you thought.
Or Jack.
That
Jack
was the
Dorsey.
first-
Jack at Twitter.
First thought.
So then all of a sudden I do it again. I said, let me try this. I'll send Harry just a blank tweet because I wanted to see if it would let me send any tweets.
Right.
So I just wrote to @HarryMaysTU
Right.
and hit send, and it wouldn't do that either.
Right.
So basically all blue check marks were throttled somehow.
No, they were shut down. They were enabled or
Disabled.
Yeah, but here's the difference. I was not one of those who was
Correct.
sending out cryptic messages from whoever
Like
the hacker
Bitcoin.
was.
Correct.
Yeah, asking for Bitcoin.
But it was
I ask
only-
for bits every day, but I only do it on the Twitch channel. But if you have Bitcoin, and you'd like to send them to the show,
Let's do it.
I'm flat out honest about it. Send your bits to dear old Captain Tony here.
On
Bits
Twitch.
on Twitch, and this is the way to do it legally. I'm not asking for 100 million. I'm not
And
asking
officially.
for 50 million. I'm not asking for 1 million. I'm not asking for 750,000. Not 500,000. Not even 100,000, Harry. But if you have 50,000 Bitcoin sitting around burning a hole in your pocket because you're invested in the stock market and you're into cryptocurrency, send it to your favorite radio show, the only beacon of light in democracy. Tony Bruno Show on Twitch, twitch.tv/Tony Bruno Show. Send your bitcoins and bits to dear old Captain Tony.
Now, for those of you who did not hear the story, but it was all over, all
blue check
mark people were hacked.
Right.
Or
disabled.
Exactly.
Well,
they weren't all hacked.
They were hacked, and the people that are really high up there that have millions and millions of followers.
Yeah, like Joe Biden, President Obama.
Barack Obama, yeah.
Elon Musk.
Right, Musk.
Their account sent out these hacked tweets asking for Bitcoin.
Yes.
And people sent them money through the cryptocurrency.
Yep.
To wherever the hackers were, and then
the FBI's investigating
the way they shut it down is they just shut down all blue hashtags or check marks just
How
to make
dare
sure
you
that
just,
nobody else.
You realize what it takes to get a blue check mark, Robin? You were there with me when we went to Twitter headquarters.
Yeah, I know.
Demanding Jack take care of business.
But
You know what I said
yesterday-
to him, Harry? When I walked in there and I saw the guy with the goatee, the hipster-looking dude, Jack Dorsey, I said, "That's the fact, Jack! Give me my damn blue check mark, sucker. You don't want to deal with me."
Tony, but
Yes,
but
I'm
Harry and I, we have been holding out. We have not wanted a blue check mark because we're like, we don't know if we want that hassle, and it paid off for us yesterday
Yeah.
because we were not shut down.
Well, I don't care about Twitter anymore.
Harry,
That's the thing.
you don't want to grow the show? This is about growing the show. It's about marketing.
You too could have 12,000 impressions.
Marketing. Merchandising. The Tony Bruno Show, the musical. Tony Bruno Show, the mug, the T-shirt. That's what it's all about.
The flamethrower. Don't you want Tony Bruno Show, the flamethrower?
That's not until next month. Anyway, we got a lot of stuff coming up. We're talking NBA with a Hall of Famer, Harry. He's not an NBA Hall of Famer. He is a basketball Hall of Famer. Because, the Naismith Hall of Fame doesn't just take NBA guys.
Right.
In there. They take ABA players. They take Russian players. They take players from all over the world.
Even from China.
It is the Basketball Hall of Fame. And Dan Issel, one of the all-time greats at Kentucky, in the NBA, in the ABA. And now he's trying to bring pro basketball back to Louisville. I thought Kentucky's program was considered pro basketball.
I think it is.
I think they get paid less if the NBA team comes there. But anyway, we'll have fun with Dan Issel. Matt Vasgersian, the voice of ESPN Baseball. He'll join us too. So stick around, a whole bunch of fun ahead on a Thirsty Thursday.
Okay, Ross Dellenger is moving to next week.
He can get the hell out now for all I care.
You can confirm that he said 520 was good.
I know. I can confirm it now.
Okay.
How about
it's not me.
Daryl in San Antonio says, I'll take a 15-year-old Tony Bruno bourbon. We should get one of those.
Yeah.
Except I won't be around in 15 years if I had to barrel it today and let it sit here.
That is so annoying.
That would be like 78. I'd be in my 80s. I'd be old enough to run for president,
You're right.
but not to be able to sell bourbon.
You know what? I'm going to check with Matt Vasgersian.
Matty V, baby. The man who was in the booth when this famous quotation was uttered, Harry.
It's not that busy, man.
Yeah, that's awesome.
It's not that busy.
Epic.
He was there with Sut. You know what the other one I don't have in the machine, though. He said, oh, no, maybe this is it.
You guys have me cracking up all the time.
Oh, I forgot. I never heard that.
Yes, that was part of it.
Yeah, but I never
Sutcliffe was saying to Vasgersian, because he was drunk as a skunk.
Yeah.
Which Sutcliffe, the announcer?
Yeah, Rick Sutcliffe, the former
Rich,
pitcher,
Rich,
was in the broadcast booth at ESPN with Matt Vasgersian a few years ago.
Yeah.
And one night he was wasted.
Bombed.
Not faded, not low-key faded.
Low-key faded.
He was wasted.
You heard what he said today, Zeke.
Oh, yeah, I got it all written down. He's crying about not getting enough respect from people.
Who?
Zeke. We got a Zeke low-key faded update, Aaron.
Zeke.
Elliott. His Twitter feed, he's been crying about more respect. Check the stats, almost 1,800. Because people are saying, come on, man, you've lost a step. So people have been busting Zeke's balls on Twitter. Looks like you've lost a step. You don't have that first initial burst. And he's like arguing. Harry rips me for being like, here's Ezekiel Elliott. He's got $1 gazillion in the bank. And he's arguing with slapdicks on Twitter about whether he's one of the best running backs in football.
Oh, bro, I'm low-key faded, bro.
That's why you should stick to playing games on Twitch and get off Twitter with all the bitches. Bruno cigars. Just think of all the merchandising opportunities. Tony Bruno wine. Tony Bruno vodka. Tony Bruno.
Be like Gene Simmons.
Yes, exactly. Cigars. Dildos. I mean, you name it.
What would that look like?
Tony Bruno condoms. I mean, anything you can think of.
That would be one of those with Peyronie's disease.
It's got the curve built into
Curve
it.
for her pleasure.
Oh.
He got the PD.
Okay. Matt originally wanted the 5:20 time. And
So we move him to 5:20.
I'm giving
Don't
him
mess.
the
Don't
option.
keep playing. Don't keep mixing around the damn.
No. I'm just telling him that because he had originally preferred 5:20, that just in case it was easier for him at 5:20, that we can move him, but he can stay at 4:20 if he wants.
You know what we should really pitch to get into the works? Tony Bruno documentary.
Oh, absolutely.
Totally.
Just outtakes. The best of Bruno, and it's just all of my tirades and profanity-laced production sessions.
It was 4:15 in the morning. I was doing my taxes. What do you blow me?
Are we calling Dan Issel?
He's ready.
Oh, he's there? Oh, beautiful.
Making a strapper.
The making of a strapper. 30 for 30. It'll be 30 minutes of just my best profanities. What? Yeah.
The godfather of strappers. Here we go.
Welcome back to the Tony Bruno Show with Harry Mays on SiriusXM 211.
We're back, and during the break, all kinds of merchandising opportunities have been presented to this program on the stream, Harry. I mean, the list is up. We should get Gene Simmons because he can merchandise anything.
Oh, yeah.
I'll tell you another guy who can merchandise a lot of stuff. Hey, because he's a Hall of Famer, a Kentucky legend, not just at the University of Kentucky, Harry, but with the Kentucky Colonels and the ABA.
And the Denver Nuggets.
Yeah. In fact, not only was he a great player for the Denver Nuggets, he became a coach, a front office guy, and now he's joining us here. And he joins us. Are you in Louisville? Or are you in Denver, Dan?
No, I'm actually in Louisville, Kentucky.
That's what I just said. Are you in Louisville or are you in Denver?
I'm in Louisville.
Wait a minute, you're doing it wrong. It's Louisville, man. Now, are you on a car phone? Are you in your car?
Yes, I'm actually on my way to a baseball tournament in Atlanta. My grandson he lives in Denver, but he's on a traveling team, and they've got a tournament this weekend, and so we're headed down there to watch him play.
Beautiful. Well, Dan, a lot of basketball stuff. So you're not going to the bubble. See, when I talk, that's what's happening. It's coming back. So can you pull Dan down when I'm talking so we don't hear me reverberating in the background? So, Dan, I know we got a lot of people listening in Colorado. Says you love it up there in Windsor, Colorado, right?
That's right. That's exactly right. Colorado's a beautiful place.
Let's try calling him back. Maybe it'll have one line without the echo.
Yeah, because you sound good, but when I talk to you, you're hearing all this reverberation. Can we call you right back, Dan?
Sure, absolutely.
All right, Dan Issel on the phone up there in Colorado, Harry. Actually, in Louisville.
But
But
this is what happens when we don't do Zoom.
I know. The Zoom,
Well, it's hard to
Zoom
Zoom
has
in a
been
car.
so clear.
I mean, you can do a lot of things in the car.
But that's not
Yeah.
that's
Hey.
not advisable.
Now, I've Zoomed in the car before,
I
but
did
that was
that
way
while
back in the
driving.
day. Did you Zoom in the car,
Well,
Harry?
you know what I'm talking about.
Oh, okay, yeah, that kind of Zoom is okay. It's usually in the back seat, though.
I-40 in North Carolina.
And then you pull over to the side of the road when safely possible?
This was no pulling over. Uh-huh.
I'm still trying to figure out. I know.
Yeah.
I've been Zoomed on the highway while driving down the road.
Right.
But I don't know if I was able to Zoom while I was driving
Between
myself.
Raleigh and Wilmington, that stretch of road.
You have a mile marker so we can go back and revisit it?
I could probably find one.
All right, I think we got Dan Issel back. Dan, let's see how it sounds now.
Is that better?
Yeah, you sound great. I sound like crap. I don't know what it is. So what I'll do is when I'm asking a question, we'll bring the sound down. All right, Joe? And then we'll try, and then Dan can answer the question. All right, Dan, let's talk about what's going on. Now, you're not going to the bar. Are you paying attention to the NBA? The Nuggets are a good team. What's going on in your interest, obviously, with the reboot down in the bubble? And have you been following the bubble?
Yeah, you know what? This obviously is a crazy time. I'm not sure, how long. Hopefully, there won't be any virus spreading in the bubble, and I am watching it very closely because I think the Nuggets. You have to put the Lakers and the Clippers and maybe Milwaukee up there on that top tier. But I think the Nuggets are right underneath that, and I think they've got a good chance in the playoffs. Good young team.
What did you think of the way that they decided to end the regular season with these 8 games and inviting a couple of extra teams that are a couple games out of the playoffs rather than just taking the top 8 from each conference?
Yeah, I don't know how fair that is. You got 8 teams that don't even get to participate because they were so far back. I guess that's the only fair way to do it, but it seems like if they were going to restart this season this late, to me they should have gone right straight into the 16-team playoffs.
Talking with the great Hall of Famer Dan Issel. Now, Dan, talked about this because this is a recent story that I've been reading about because obviously you love Louisville, Kentucky so much for you, the Kentucky Colonels, your legendary career there, and they're trying to get an NBA team, right? Because the NBA doesn't have any plans on expanding, so you're leading this group. You're the president of a group that's trying to get the NBA into Louisville with a franchise, right?
Yes, that's correct. And you're also right in that right now expansion is not on the table. But I know the way the NBA operates, expansion won't be on the table until the day before they decide to do it. The one positive that has come out of all of this stoppage of play is that there's lost revenue out there that I'm sure the owners would like to make up, and the quickest way for them to make that up would be to expand to 2 teams. So what we've been charged with is if and when the NBA decides to expand, we have our application and everything aligned so that we can be right there ready to make our argument.
So do you have like your own ownership group that's ready to step up should the NBA give you a call?
John, when I first took this job, I thought that would be the hardest thing, finding somebody or someone's to write a check for $1.5 billion. But after I got into it, we've talked. We have 7 different groups that are under non-disclosure agreements. The problem is, when I make the case. They usually say, well, that sounds great. When is this going to happen? And when you say there's no timetable, you kind of lose their interest right away. But I'm sure that I'm positive that if we get a chance to make an application to the NBA, finding the ownership group won't be a problem.
Dan, and you even admitted it, and so has the group in down there in Louisville. They know that Seattle, because they lost the Sonics, are probably first on the list if they do put a team back in. And then you got other teams like Mexico City's looking, Vegas, Vancouver. But I think you've said, you got the Yum Center down there where they could play basketball. I know Freedom Hall is an older building. But do you feel good? I mean, you will agree, right? Seattle's probably the first city that's going to get a franchise back, right?
Well, it's kind of always been understood that, they lost the Sonics because the city voted down at that time to build a new arena. You're right. The Yum Center in downtown Louisville was designed and built with the idea that it would eventually house an NBA team. Has all the amenities, same level practice floor. It would be in the top 10 of NBA arenas right off the bat. So you said, if and when the NBA decides to expand, there's going to be a lot of competition for these franchises, but we think we can make a pretty compelling argument for the city of Louisville, the Commonwealth of Kentucky, and I can guarantee you there is no more city or state more passionate about their basketball than Kentucky.
So they're passionate about pro basketball, too, because I know I lived in North Carolina for several years, and they had ended up getting a pro franchise when I lived down there. But people supported it, but they were still more college crazy than NBA fans.
Yeah, that's true. But one interesting fact is that the TV ratings for the NBA draft have been the highest in Louisville, Kentucky, the last few years of any state in the country, or any city in the country. Now, a lot of that has to do with, the interest in where the Kentucky, both U of K, U of L, Western, Murray State last year, where those players are going. But Kentucky loves their basketball, high school, college, hopefully one day professional all as well.
Now, Dan, you're very funny on Twitter because I follow you there, Dan Issel 44 on Twitter, and it's some funny stuff. A couple of days ago, you've been posting pictures of your old ABA days, one with Dr. J, number 32, dunking over you, and you're way up there, and you claimed that he did not posterize you, and these are photoshopped.
No question about that. I was such a bad defensive player, they never let me get close to guarding Julius. So if that picture is for real, then I'm trying to clean up somebody else's mess. So you got to give me credit for that.
Well, you did play center and forward, so you were a multifaceted player. Nobody said you used to go out there and play the two. You played anywhere you needed to be.
I played anywhere that they'd let me get on the court.
Dan had to come from the weak side there because Dr. J blew right by his man.
And Dr. J had both knee braces on, Dan, and you didn't have any kind of impediment there. How did you not block that shot?
Hey, let me tell you, I didn't have to wear any braces or anything. I didn't jump high enough or run fast enough to get hurt.
No, but you waltzed into the Naismith Hall of Fame, man, with your unbelievable career, not just at Kentucky, obviously, but with the Colonels in the ABA and, of course, with the Nuggets in the NBA. And it's always great to catch up. And you say hi to my buddy Scott Hastings. I know you and two don't get along very much, but when you see him the next time, tell him I said hi.
I'll do that for sure. Thanks a lot.
There he is. And by the way, you're not following me on Twitter, Dan.
Uh-oh.
You got to be following me at Tony Bruno Show on Twitter. I follow you. I got 64,000 followers. I need to grow your Twitter followers, so this way you get the team in Louisville. When I get behind you, the franchise will be assured down there at the Yum Center, and I'll be out there to throw up the first air ball.
There you go. There you go. We'll look forward to it.
All right, Dan, thanks so much for coming on. Appreciate the time.
Thank you, guys. Bye-bye.
There he is, the great Dan Issel, and he's going to see his grandson play baseball
in Atlanta.
And our sources on the Twitch stream, who are all over the country, Harry. That's what's great about having a national show. People know exactly where his son plays,
right.
And his son supposedly is a really, really good baseball player. Maybe some major league potential type talent.
Is that right? It's like having our own network of stringers.
Exactly. It's like scouts everywhere.
Yeah.
We've got scouts all over the country, not just looking at pro guys and guys in college, looking at high school players.
Yeah.
You know what they say about them high school girls, Harry?
What do they say?
They don't say that anymore.
Yes, they do.
No, they
Matthew
don't.
McConaughey does. You know who does, too? Chrissy Teigen does. You know what they say about them? But see, they're legal at least, high school girls.
No,
I don't think so.
In some states they are.
Not this state.
No,
I'm not. Again, listen, I am not. This is a movie line. All right, for all you people who are going to come after me now because these people don't get that I'm joking and using a famous movie line.
Let me tell
from
you something.
Dazed and Confused, Robin.
When are you going to understand that 90% of the people don't get these
yes,
things anymore?
Yes, they do. Are you curious?
No, they don't.
You know, our people here, when we don't get a reference, they get angry.
50% of everything he says and tweets is 100% sarcastic.
That. People do not understand
Phoebe
that.
Cates, by the way, turns 57 today, who was in the movie Dazed and Confused. You think they're going to now edit that movie and take that scene out when he says, you know what they say about them high school girls?
You know what? I would not be surprised.
I get older, they stay the same age, man.
I would not be surprised if a lot of those types of things are going to be starting to be edited out because people cannot see that it was a movie. They don't get it. Do we have
the tape? Let's go back.
Say, you're a freshman, right?
Yeah.
So tell me, man, how's this year's crop of freshman chicks looking?
What, you're gonna end up in jail sometime really soon, I know that. But
no, man. No, man, I tell you. Yeah. That's what I love about these high school girls, man. I get older, they stay the same age.
Yes, they do. Yes, they do. Wow. Yes, they do. You know what he was in that movie, Harry? You know.
He was low-key faded.
He was low-key faded.
Oh, bro, I'm low-key faded, bro.
I think they shot that in Austin.
Did they shoot it in Austin?
Yeah, which is where he
Robin, that's an iconic movie.
Yes.
So that movie should be canceled now? Will HBO take it out of their HBO Plus?
I'm not saying that it should. I'm just saying that I know what the world is like right now, and I know that.
And guess what? I'm not bowing to that world right now. I jokingly put a tweet out, and people thought it was real. This is how confused the world is. You know what I tweeted today as a joke? I wrote, breaking news, Coca-Cola has removed and apologized for the iconic commercial featuring Mean Joe Green and the Pittsburgh Steelers because mean connotes violence, which is not acceptable anymore. And as I posted that as a joke, and people thought it was serious. That's how confused the world is.
My point?
Right?
Exactly.
Right now, could a player call himself Mean Joe Green?
Well,
what did it connote? What did the steel curtain connote back in the days of the Pittsburgh Steelers?
Probably only wrestlers.
Toughness.
Yeah, they were the steel curtain. Nothing could get by them, and they would dominate. Mean Joe Green was one of the most loving guys, and that's what the commercial. It was one of the greatest commercials of all time.
He tossed the kid his jersey.
Yeah, so he's walking off the field into the tunnel, all sweaty and battered.
This was like early to mid 70s.
Yeah, and that was the I like to teach the world to sing era of Coca-Cola.
Right.
I love
and so
that
the
era.
little kids waiting for Mean Joe Green scowls at the kid in the tunnel. First of all, no little kid standing in the tunnel after the end of the game.
He didn't have a pass on. He didn't
Exactly.
have
He had no credentials. It's an outrage.
I have
But anyways,
ridiculous.
Tony, I have the commercial.
So the little kid's standing there, and he offers him a Coke, and then Mean Joe Green downs it. He didn't shotgun. He didn't break the bottle over and start drinking it, though. That's only with cans. This is with a bottle.
He's not Myers Leonard, Tony.
No. Let's go to the commercial if you haven't seen it. It's 1979, man. We're talking the Seal. Limping off.
Mr. Green? Mr. Green?
Yeah.
You need any help?
Mm-mm.
I just want you to know, I think you're the best ever.
Yeah, sure.
Want my Coke? It's okay, you can have it.
No.
Really, you can have it.
Okay.
A Coke and a smile makes me feel good.
Polishes that whole bottle off, Harry. Yeah. That's Hall of Fame talent right there.
Looks like me with a Miller Lite.
Wait for it. Wait for it.
Hey, kid.
And he tosses his jersey. I got goosebumps now watching that again, Harry. Wow. Have a Coke and a smile. Not some Coke and a smile. That's a different commercial.
That's different. That was in the 70s.
That's what Dan Snyder's doing with cheerleaders and setting people up with the Washington Redskins. Allegedly.
Yeah, in Costa Rica.
Yeah. They even had it pinned down to where this activity was going on.
Central America, I believe, on a trip.
Watching Dan Snyder, you would never think that he would be a pervert.
No.
I mean, he had the nice suits. He always looks happy up in the box. He had all of
you
his...
have intercourse with any hoes, ladies are the nice or prostitutes.
Exactly right, man.
Now, Mean Joe Green went to North Texas. Do you know what their nickname is?
Oh, God, I know this. Now I can't remember it.
Now, unless they changed it.
Wait a minute. Guy, the Couch Guy.
You know it, Couch Guy.
I do.
Colin the Couch Guy.
What is it?
The North Texas Mean Green.
Correct.
The Mean Green
Now,
machine.
is it still the Mean Green? Because maybe they changed it for the reasons that you were talking about, how it's too aggressive.
Good thing that Mean Gene Okerlund's no longer with us to have to deal with that kind of cancel culture now. He would not be able to, nobody would be able to say, that's right, Mean Gene.
Yeah,
let me tell you right now, Mean Gene. You can't have a guy named Mean Gene now, can you?
No, I don't think so.
Hell no. The Mean Greenies?
The Mean Green.
From what I looked up, they are still the North Texas Mean Green.
Okay.
Let me give them a roaring round of applause.
Stay strong.
Stay mean, people.
North Texas.
Stay mean. Oh, me. What up, Conference USA?
What up? By the way, everybody's saying how they love how the name Couch Guy has stuck.
Yes, it has. Well, after, the situation yesterday, which we broke on this show, the Megan Thee Stallion reported being shot by some guy named Rory Jones. Was that his name?
Tory Lanez.
Tory Lanez.
Rory
Jones.
Rory Jones.
Where did that come from?
Tory Lanez. It sounds like a porn star.
Speaking of Rory, let's put the golf on.
Yeah, get the damn golf on here. Harry wants to continue to throw things at the TV screen. Well,
I'll
at
be
least
like
Dustin
those girls
Johnson's
down in Fort Lauderdale
exactly,
Airport.
Yes. There's only, it's amazing. Here they are. They're, who the hell is that anxious to get back to Philadelphia?
I know.
They're in the Fort Lauderdale Airport, the Spirit Airlines window, and I guess the situation was that the flight was delayed. And they were angry?
Yeah. Looked angry.
Not only did they look angry.
They started throwing stuff,
I
and
know.
then they started beating somebody up.
Yeah.
The gate attendant or something.
What do they think they were back in Philly? Either they couldn't wait to get back to Philly to go do a peaceful protest, or they just realized, why the hell did I spend $69 to get a flight that's going to be late and I can't bring a bag on Spirit Airlines unless I give them another $50?
And then they also, while they were beating one of the gate agents.
Allegedly. They weren't beating. Well, they were throwing stuff. It's on tape.
There were people beating.
They were arrested, by the way.
Yeah, they
Yes.
were. Yeah.
However, when they
You can
arrived
see
back in
them
Philadelphia.
kicking and hitting her.
No doubt about it.
This is not alleged.
The
it's
good
on
news
video.
is once they got back to Philadelphia, the district attorney released him without bail. So they can go and peacefully protest this weekend at the next protest event
I wonder
scheduled.
if they are still in custody, though, because unless something has changed since I was a gate agent, any kind of altercation inside an airport is under federal jurisdiction, and so you get arrested, it's under federal law.
That's what I thought. But here's the thing: people, it's a state. It doesn't matter who owns the airport.
No, it doesn't
That's
matter.
why we have the TSA. The TSA. Unfortunately, you saw last night because they couldn't get there when this happened a couple nights ago. If the TSA was there and they're throwing stuff, and one woman allegedly stole a cell phone from one of the gate agents, and it got ugly. You saw the video,
I saw
Aaron.
it,
And again, that's what happens whenever. And the guy videotaping it was laughing and joking about it. The guy's videotaping a crime, and the guy's laughing as these three women go ballistic inside an airport terminal at the gate. Now, TSA, if they were there, could they come in and subdue them? Because the gate agents were trying to subdue these
Or if
people.
there's a marshal, an air marshal or something there.
I don't even think air marshals bother going on Spirit
Well, it
Airlines
used
flights.
to.
Harry. I don't know.
Back when I was working as a gate agent, it used to be that there were always federal marshals on property.
Mhm.
That if anything happened,
Right.
not only would the regular police be called, but the the federal marshals would be there as well. And that way, if anything happened, it was under federal jurisdiction, which carried a much higher penalty than if it was off airport property. Penalty. Whoops.
Robin?
You were thinking of something else.
Jesus. Sometimes things get translated in my brain.
No, they were
wrong.
released on bail, Robin.
Wow.
Oh, they were?
Yes.
Yeah.
They weren't charged. They were charged with misdemeanors. They weren't charged with
That's
felonies.
crazy. So something must have changed since then.
I mean, who do I look like? F. Lee Bailey? Do I look like Dan Lust, Esquire? Come on. Well, I wish I did. I told you that story yesterday. If I looked like Dan, you think I'd be sitting here schlepping doing a radio show? I'd be up there with Dan Snyder trying to get hooked up on Costa Rica. Yeah. With some, what's the name of the Redskin cheerleaders, Harry? What was their nicknames?
I don't know. It's just the Skinettes, Red Skinettes.
I don't think you can call them the Skinettes.
I think it was the Red Skinettes.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah, I think so.
The Derrick Dolls was always my favorite name. The Houston Oilers cheerleaders, they were called the Derrick Dolls.
Those
You get
are
it?
an
The
oil
Oil
derrick,
Derricks.
yeah.
That was a great name right there. Anyway, we'll get back to more of this stuff, Harry. And your calls, 215-462-TONY, 215-462-8669. Strapper lines, too. We got any good strapper calls today?
So we one that's almost entirely in Spanish.
Oh, this is a show of all the people. Habla español?
Ay, papi, qué rico. Dame más. Sí, sí.
Yes.
I have the info right here when we come back.
Habla español, baby. We're coming right back. Not the hogettes or the piglets. Were they called the
Redskinettes?
They were the Redskinettes?
Yeah.
Dude,
Wow.
that's even more racist than the name of the
They
team.
were.
Yeah, that's horrible. I have the official. Let's see. Do I want to accept that? Yeah. This is official federal crimes in airports statutes. So.
I think they arrived at Philly International, and the DA was there to give him the key to the city.
When I walked out of here yesterday, my dad texted me that story because it was like he's like, "Hey, look who's coming back to Philly." I didn't even,
Right, man. I don't think anybody would fight to come back to Philly if I'm in Fort Lauderdale. I just say, screw it, man. I'm staying another couple days.
Yeah.
Screw that.
So yeah, no, I have Tony. When we come back, whoops.
Here's another great one from the
Anything
Babylon Bee.
over like 99.9.
What's your temperature?
What's your temperature?
What's the temperature, Kenneth?
No, it cannot be.
100.2. Isn't that a frequency?
100.
Well,
100
take your
even.
hat
Keep
off.
the damn hat off, man.
Cool off. Drinks it. Where's
You
your
got
water?
any water in there?
Drink your water.
Ricky Fowler, 6 over.
Dude, these guys are shit in the
Bubba
bed.
Watson, 6 over.
I mean, really,
Webb
a fever
Simpson, 5 over.
is like, if you're like 101 is where we really. Yeah.
You did work tomorrow? It's running already? I did work. I've worked every day this week. You worked at the Hard Rock down there?
6:30 to 12:45.
Any biatches in there in the Hard Rock?
Oh, yeah.
I thought they were shutting it down.
Open for patio service.
Patio service. You know what the you know who the president of the president of Ireland is, right? Patio Furniture.
So, Tony, when we come back, did you want to read this? Or do you want me to?
We'll go to the airline assault desk and your correspondent, Miss former Stu herself.
No, I was not a stew. I was a gate agent and a ticket agent. And I would avoid the baggage claim area at all costs because those were the worst.
Here it is. Kanye West has dropped out of the race after Elon Musk offers him a position as president of Mars, Harry.
That's obviously a Babylon Bee.
Of course it is.
Okay. Play action reel. Miss Robin really knows how to frisk you.
Man, we have breaking news now from overseas. Meghan Markle is now eyeing a 2024 presidential bid.
Oh, yeah.
After destroying the entire royal family, which I highly recommend, bringing that stinking, ridiculous empire down. Talk about ideas that are way past their time, Harry. Royalty. That is bullshit, man.
Well, the royalty thing. I mean, but to be active in. I mean, even
you
the
a big
Netherlands.
Ken Henry VIII fan, Harry?
No,
Robin?
No.
Welcome back to the Tony Bruno Show with Harry Mays on SiriusXM 211.
Now, during the break, we had developing situation here in the Wine Cellar Studios. As you all know, if you listen to the show and avoid excessive use, which we don't want you to do, what do? We have our not made in where?
China.
Made in the USA thermometer.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody gets checked, their temperature check as soon as they come down here. If you require other Orify to be checked,
you're
98.2. 98.2. That's a little high for me, but that's still way under normal.
Mm-hmm.
And then Miss Robin got checked. What were you today?
I didn't check myself.
I need another check before we continue with the show because we may have to self-quarantine. And I believe
98.4.
So now we got to go back to Conlon the Couch Guy. I think that should be his name. Conlon the Couch Guy. He was over 100, and now
What up, Couch Guy?
What up, Couch Guy? Let it go. No,
90
no. See, he took
97.
the hat off.
See?
See, he was over 100, but since he's got to be cool and wear the hat on backwards when it's a hot, humid day out.
He's looking very sweaty over there.
Dr. Robin has been right every single time.
Because we were ready to put him, as somebody pointed out, on the Twitch stream. I got to find this one. Syracuse 44 says, put him in the shower like Meryl Streep in Silkwood. Wow. We have a shower right in the other room.
Yeah.
We could have turned that thing, put some ice on him, thrown him in the ice bath.
Yeah, see, all I needed was take my hat off, but I was wearing my hat. It's golf day. You know what I mean?
It's
I had
not golf day. Take a stinking hat off inside. You wear one when you go out to a nice dinner, you walk into a nice restaurant, you wear a hat?
I do with my hair the way it is right now.
In a nice restaurant, how you walk in there with a hat?
You can't go in a nice restaurant. What world are you in?
I'm not talking about right now.
Well,
I'm
this
talking
is
about in
right
general.
now.
I'm not talking about right now. I'm talking about like Robin and I.
I haven't had a haircut in 5 months. So I'm talking about right now.
You're allowed to get a haircut. Plus, your stylist comes to your house.
I know, but still.
I hate to do it to you. How is that? That's a lame excuse. You're not allowed. You're not. Now they shut it back down again.
I'm growing it now. I'm
You're
going to
get
grow
the
a big mullet like Pat Perez.
Pat Perez, my favorite golfer.
Yeah.
I can't wait for you to be able to put it in a little ponytail.
Yeah, you going to go man bun, Harry?
No.
You look like, what's the guy, Jimenez on the PGA Tour?
Oh,
Is he still out there?
Yeah.
He's got the good man bun
He's
going.
the most interesting man on the tour.
On the tour,
Yes.
exactly right. Stay thirsty, my friends. Let's pour one out for him. Or open one up. So now,
he's
here's
below
another rule
normal.
right here. You cannot wear a hat inside a house when it's hot out, and we got serious restrictions on temperature. Like even Ryan Rothstein has a hat on.
Yeah.
What's your temperature, man? Did you check it?
It
This
will
is serious business here, man.
I've been right around 97, 98. I'll check it right now.
Check it right now,
hat
man.
adds about 2 degrees to somebody, approximately.
A hat adds about 7 degrees of strapperness to me when I put it on. You know what I'm saying? Especially pair hats on backwards, Harry. If you're wearing a hat on backwards right now, 97.7, he's safe.
Yeah, you're good.
You can stay.
Now, Tony, during the commercial break, I did a little bit of research just to
97.8.
see, and
Okay.
I do have some Federal Aviation Administration.
Let's go to our
federal
FAA desk, and once a hot stew back in the days when we can call them stews and check them out and say, hey, check out the stew in first class, Harry. Damn. She
Well,
fine.
It was during that time when my doctor prescribed do not wear pantyhose with crotches.
Exactly right. Let's go to your FAA desk.
Speaking of keeping cool.
And a woman who understands the rules of the Federal Aviation Administration. Miss Robin with your FAA update.
Yes. So this is according to the Federal Aviation Administration. An assault of airline workers. Airport travel usually means long waits, frustration to hundreds of thousands of passengers. In the recent past, average wait times and travel delays have increased.
Yes.
A lapse in judgment at the airport can involve severe consequences. Assaulting an airline worker may be punishable under federal law.
May is the word right there.
Yes.
May, Robin.
But it depends on whether they decide to prosecute. So the U.S. Department of Justice clarification ruling concerning the protection of law enforcement officers and TSA agents from air rage. An individual convicted of assault of these workers faces a maximum of 10-year prison sentence and a $250,000 fine.
But these were not TSA agents.
It does anybody. It's the classification is the same. So a gate agent is
Yeah, but if you're on a plane and you go crazy, they'll
that's
cuff
even more.
you and they'll hold you down, and they should.
Oh, yeah.
You got a wacko who goes off on a plane.
Right, wants to open the door or something. And
you got to put them down.
If it's on a plane, then you are under the disruptive behavior penalties, which is even more.
But what about in the terminal? What about at the gate?
This is the assault of airline workers.
Okay.
So there's this difference between if you then it gets added on to. So if you're in the air and you do something, that has added penalties.
So why did these women, who are obviously out of control and assaulting people, why did they just get released with a misdemeanor charge?
I don't know. I guess the Spirit Airlines it's up to them whether they're going to prosecute.
By the way, our buddy Joe C. is going to go see Air Rage Against the Machine this weekend, I understand. He's got a little private show.
Where are they performing?
In Cincinnati, where AJ is right now. on the Cincinnati. People don't realize how close Louisville and Cincinnati are, Harry. In fact, the Cincinnati airport is in Kentucky. Did you know that, Harry?
Campbelltown.
That is great news. Let's go to our correspondent in Cincinnati, the great AJ. AJ, who knows more about Cincinnati, Louisville adjacent knowledge than this program, my friend, except you, of course.
Exactly right. What's happening, Tony, Harry, Miss Robin?
What up, man?
What up?
What up?
Oh, yeah. Great. Also, great city. They have a lot of bourbon distilleries as well. I've been there a couple times over the last few weeks since they've reopened distilleries to tour, to take some great samplings down there.
And what's the name of the town, Harry?
It's Campbelltown, isn't it? Where the airport is?
Yes, Covington.
Oh, is it Covington? Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
Covington Airport.
I was wrong.
But that's where when you fly, like for example, when you fly into Hartford, you're flying into. It's actually in Massachusetts. It's over the Connecticut line, the Hartford Airport.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And the same thing with the with the Cincinnati Airport. It's actually in Kentucky. Sort of like the Jets and Giants. They actually play in New Jersey, but they're called the New York team. But enough about that. We've got the geography all straightened out at least. Just don't ask me to do math.
Hey, congrats to your Philadelphia Union and also Orlando FC as the first two teams to qualify to the round of 16 in the MLS Welcome Back tournament.
Hey, Harry's going to go out and get a scarf from our buddy Kevin Kincaid. Now,
I have one.
You have a Union scarf?
Yeah,
Why didn't you wear it today, Harry?
Because it's like 90 degrees.
It's inside. You got a hat on, and you won't wear what do they call it? They don't call them scarves. What do they call them in soccer?
I don't know.
I call them scarves. When Dr. Burks wears one, then I'll wear one.
I'm playing golf after the show.
You are?
Yeah.
Going to play a little twilight golf,
Yeah.
Harry? You play till the sun sets?
Exactly.
What happens if you're on the 18th tee and it's just a little bit too dark to hit that drive? Do you still tee off and finish the hole, Harry?
Yes.
I just wanted to check.
They're called shawls, I think.
They are called shawls, yes.
Shawls?
Shawl. A soccer shawl.
Shawl the hell is. They say shawl to everything down in Louisville. Come on now. AJ, thanks for giving your love to your Philadelphia Union, man. It's good stuff.
Yeah, my Cincinnati FC won today, 1-0, but Atlanta was a good team. Unfortunately, they lost their best, goal scorer, Joseph Martinez, in the first game, and then, of course, they had to play 10 men down early in the middle of the first half. But hey, I'll take any win that I can because I know FC Cincinnati ever since they arrived in the MLS last year, they've struggled a bit. But a win's a win, no matter what. Can't wait for my Reds to start up next Friday, and of course Zion. Hopefully, his family member issue gets resolved because the Pelicans and the Jazz first game to start in exactly 2 weeks from tonight. Hopefully, he gets back. He's do 10 days in Gordy, and
if Zion doesn't play, they should just shut the bubble down.
Yeah.
They should just shut it down, Harry.
New Orleans should just go home.
They should just go back home and party on Bourbon Street like
Exactly.
it's 1999. If Zion doesn't play, Harry,
that would be
how much thunder? I think Adam Silver is personally flying to his house to bring in the finest medical people to put IVs in him, to do anything they can
Well, it's
to
not
make
him.
sure.
It's
I know
a
it's one of
medical
his
issue
family
with his
members.
family
I
or
know.
something. Yeah.
How many checks you think they're cutting to make sure that Zion's okay?
I mean, I hope whatever it is.
Oh,
ends up
absolutely. I do
being
too.
okay,
I'm not making light of somebody's health situation. But if he doesn't play, you just shut down the bubble right now. You just put a pin in the bubble and burst that thing.
Exactly.
In the Western Conference. Listen, no, I'm not against Memphis. Memphis is a good team. But everybody in the NBA wants Zion against
LeBron.
And it even matches.
They should have just done like best record. So now we're going to have the Nets or the Wizards in the playoffs, and the Grizzlies or Pelicans are not going to be in the playoffs, like how the NHL did it.
You know what that's it. You know what that is, right?
It's an outrage.
They'll push the start date back if Zion isn't ready.
we got 2 weeks from tonight is when it starts.
Yeah, that's what AJ
on
in Cincinnati
TNT.
just said. And you know what happens a week from tonight, Harry?
Baseball.
1 week from tonight, next Thursday.
Yankees and the Nationals.
And
Couch guy's going to be going crazy.
Oh, man.
I cannot wait. The October Rain shirt will be in full effect a week from today for that show. And to watch Garrett Cole mow down those Washington Strappers. Or they go by the Washington Nationals.
And we're going to have the man who will be calling that game on ESPN, Matt Vasgersian himself. And you know what I'll say, huh?
It's not that busy, man.
It's not that busy. It's coming up in the next hour, so stick around for baseball.
All righty. Break.
What is that drop from? Like, what was he describing?
They was in the booth. They were in the booth doing a game, Sunday night or Sunday night.
Came up and
Rick
visited
Sutcliffe was one of the guys in the booth.
No,
he worked for ESPN.
He wasn't working that night.
Yeah, no, he was off.
You're
That's
right. He
But
came in to
was
say
working.
hello to those guys.
Right. So he was working for
And he was
ESPN.
hammered.
So
he was hammered.
Like, did like an inning thing? Like when
Yeah,
they
he
come in
walked.
for, like,
No, because he was an employee. He worked for ESPN, so it
Yeah.
wasn't just a player that happened to walk in.
Okay.
They figured, okay, hey, there's Sut. He works games for ESPN.
Yeah.
And so they let him in the booth. I think it was in San Diego, if I'm not
I think
mistaken.
so. I think
and he
so.
was hammered. He
He
wasn't
was.
low-key faded.
Oh, dude.
So then they start. And Vasgersian's a funny guy. So they're goofing off during the game. And then Sut says,
You guys have me cracking up all the time.
that was the first. You guys have me cracking up all the time, man. And then they're saying, Sut, what have you been doing now? You know. And then right after that, he said,
It's not that busy, man. It's not that busy.
Where are you?
What's that? What's that? Yeah. Not that busy, man.
It's not that busy, man. It's not that busy.
Great, man. That was hilarious. I love that. It's not that busy.
Man. But this one's better, too.
You guys have me cracking up
All the time. Yeah, I never heard that. I never remembered that.
Yeah.
Why is this not working?
You guys. No, you didn't like, other than the technical thing. Wasn't Issel good? That was good stuff. There was good NBA round ball.
I wonder why that happened.
He was on a speakerphone. And the only way we could have done it is either to tell him to get off his speakerphone and he's driving, or just do what he did, which was pull
You did a great job.
Yeah, pull
because-
us down while we're asking the questions and then pull it back up. And then, of course, Robin did not give Joe love for that work. Of course, I had to yell at Joe to do it, though. So I was actually directing.
I just did.
No, we gave him love. But I had to yell at him to do it.
What?
I'm just kidding,
I don't
Joe.
know what's
I'm busting
going
your
on.
shot.
I don't
You know what I'm
either.
saying?
I really don't.
I don't either, man. Cincinnati is part of Eastern Europe as well. That's exactly right. just like Wisconsin is your Eastern European, as we learned on this show yesterday.
Oh, yeah. Tyler Hero.
So is Cincinnati part of Eastern Europe.
CPKSP
Tyler
said.
Hero from the Serbian.
So CPKSP just
Not
gave-
California Pizza Kitchen.
I know it sounds like it, doesn't it? Just gave Joe C a nickname,
What is it?
Animal. He said Animal did a great job on the soundboard.
Animal?
You know, from the
From the
Muppets.
Yes.
Is that what it's from, or is it from some? Oh, is it from Nerds?
I don't know.
Nerds. Who are you referring? Animal? Is it the Nerds?
I think he's talking about Muppets.
Welcome back to the Tony Bruno Show with Harry Mays on SiriusXM 211.
Having fun. It is a thirsty Thursday, Harry. Should we we'll call one today? I mean, my mom's birthday is tomorrow. Robin's son's birthday was yesterday. Dan Lust's birthday was a lot of birthdays this week. Usually there's a lot of birthdays every week.
I think we wait till tomorrow.
Why, Harry?
For your mom's birthday.
I'll be drinking with my mom on Saturday at her party. I'll get her white girl wasted.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, yeah. Ever see a 96-year-old white girl wasted chick on her birthday?
You should get her a six-pack of White Claw and take a picture of her drinking a White Claw.
No, wait a minute. Even my mom would never drink a White Claw, Harry. Even my mom knows. Who does my mom look like? Eitan Shander? Come on, man.
He'll join us tomorrow from the golf course at 5:20.
Drinking White Claws?
Probably.
Now, what's his favorite flavor? Do you know, Harry?
I don't know.
How do you not know that? You're with the guy like 24/7
Yeah, but,
now.
well, I don't drink White Claws with him.
He doesn't drink them on the course?
We play at like 7:30 in the morning.
So what? People drink like people get up and drink stinking Red Bulls when they wake up instead of coffee. The people
There's
who
no
don't,
alcohol in a Red Bull, though.
Yeah, these are alcoholic drinks.
you call a White Claw an alcoholic
My
drink?
boy
Wow.
Doc that called the Strapper line drinks at 7:30 in the morning.
Well, a lot of people do, Harry. Especially now. People say, when should you start drinking? Anytime during the pandemic, Harry. Anytime. But anyway, now, Couch Guy, the Couch Guy, I'm going to call him Conlon the Couch Guy. What do you have for us, man? You have a golf update?
No, I was just going to say, I was commenting on your White Claws thing. So White Claws, if you want to cut out the carbs, I know you guys were on keto. You don't want the beer. You drink the White Claw, 2 carbs. The White Claw Black Cherry is the go-to White Claw of all the claws.
Black Cherry.
Black Cherry is
Really?
the best one. And you know what they say? There ain't no laws when you're drinking claws.
that what they
That's
say?
what they say.
Is that the slogan, the official slogan for the company?
Wow.
Ain't no laws when you're drinking claws. I kind of like the slogan. I got to be honest.
Man, they're blowing up for
You
a
know,
reason.
I've been an ardent anti-White Claw guy since Jump. Remember?
Yes.
We were doing events, and I would ridicule
Yes.
White Claws because, again, that's what I do. You always have to remember Zimas. People would always pick on guys who drank Zimas.
Which Zimo's malt liquor. That's the thing people forget.
I know.
Also, you could drink like 6 of them really fast. Like they were great for pregame, but people make fun of them, and it's like because they don't taste bad. But they got worse tasting as you drank more of them. But like you could drink 6 of those really fast and get really drunk.
You sound
that's
like
what Robin
you're
would do.
speaking of experience.
Yes.
But here's the thing about
All
Zima.
right.
Zima was, everybody said, was awful, right?
Yeah, I never
And then they
liked it.
brought it back again.
Right.
And then nobody bought it then either.
And then we had the Smirnoff Ice where you get bro iced.
Bro Ice.
Right.
And now everything's seltzer. Everything's got to have alcohol in it now.
Mm-hmm.
You notice that seltzers that has alcohol in it. Cider. All the cider drinks with alcohol in it.
Root beer. They had root beer with alcohol in it.
Yeah, not your granddad's. What was that one? Not your grandfather's.
Not your dad's root beer or something
to
like
put
that.
alcohol
Well, there is a
in-
dad's root beer. That's
yeah,
a
but that's
brand.
not alcohol.
No,
But
I know.
putting alcohol in every alcoholic milkshakes. Now, you know
Those
that?
were delicious.
Good. Yeah, they are good.
I
Those are really
drank
good.
vodka with Coke.
Do you really have?
Yeah. Diet Coke.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know about that.
Absolutely.
I don't know about that. How about baby Similac now? They're going to start adding alcohol
Is
to
that
that.
right?
Yes.
Yeah,
when you go-
Pedialyte. Put a little vodka in your Pedialyte.
love
You can
Pedialyte.
hydrate and get whacked.
Yes.
Oh,
I
what
have
a brilliant
Pedialyte in my
idea.
refrigerator
Of
for
course.
those purposes.
Yeah.
Oh, I have to look out. I'm sure that's a drink already. we
Saturday
cannot
morning,
be the first
early
people
tea
that thought of
time.
this.
You had a late Friday night. You get the Pedialyte.
A light
You know what I mean?
with
Baby formula with
vodka.
alcohol. And you know, the kids been acting up. Remember when kids started teething? Remember
Look
when
at
kids
this.
started teething, Robin, and you'd get a little, you put a little like alcohol in there, you get a little rum, and you'd rub it in the kids'
Oh yeah,
gums.
no, absolutely. I do. That was recommended back in the day that you rub a little bit of whiskey or rum on babies' gums. It's kind of frowned
Joey
upon
Binoca,
nowadays.
Coke and vodka. Jesus, Harry.
FYI, I knew.
I think he's referring to the
Robin's
other type.
right. Let's get an
Yeah.
update now. Let's go to the second best bartender since AOC happens to be Miss Robin Austin.
Well, I knew that Harry, there's no way that Harry thought this up himself for the first time because it had to have been thought of before. But Pedialyte and vodka is a drink and a website. A website called whiskeyriff.com.
Whiskey Riff?
That's the name. It's called Pedialyte. Your favorite flavor of Pedialyte and your favorite vodka will be your new favorite drink.
Drunk and no hangover. Well, I'm wearing the shirt today, Harry. What does it say? And it's available on the Tony Bruno Show website or in the store.
If we're going to die, let us die drunk. At least.
We thought this would jump the shark in a couple of months.
Not
It
so
is now
much.
more appropriate than ever. Is it not?
Yep.
If we're going to, because they're closing the bars again and all these states are locking down, if you're going to die, let us die drunk at least.
Yeah, not your father's root beer.
Yes.
Is the stuff.
Yeah,
with
that
alcohol.
was the
It's really
first
good.
alcoholic flavored root beer.
Yeah.
It
But
is-
I'm telling you, there's some. We had one over at the Aloft Hotel. Near
Oh,
the
yeah,
airport.
the Aloft.
Michael Vick's favorite
Yeah.
place when he would come to Philadelphia.
Right, it's right by the airport.
The
yeah.
Aloft.
That's
And
where
we-
I did the Deshaun Jackson show.
Did you really?
Yeah, in the lobby of the Aloft.
Did Farrakhan stop by for a guest segment when you were there?
No, but after like the second week, he started coming in late, and he was supposed to play Madden. The deal was with like a listener or somebody that would attend the show could play Madden with him.
Uh-huh.
Third week, one of the kids that showed up beat him, and he just stopped playing
Oh,
Madden.
no.
Then he
This is
just then the
breaking
whole
up.
thing, the
Oh.
whole promotion went
Right down,
down
the
drain.
toilet.
Yep.
Wow. How about that, Harry? Nothing like disappointing a young man or a young woman.
But the restaurant there, they had, I swear, the best hamburgers and adult milkshakes.
Because Robin and I were staying there when we first got back to
Yeah.
Philly before we found a place to live because I didn't have a house here.
Right.
and we would stay in the A-loft and go down in the lounge, and the woman who runs it was a little wacky.
Yeah,
remember her?
I remember her.
She was a fun wacky, though.
Mm-hmm.
And we ordered the alcoholic milkshakes. I'm telling you, they were phenomenal.
Yeah.
I highly recommend them.
Yes. Delicious.
Let's start doing the show there in the
I'm
lobby
ready.
of the A-loft.
Is it open?
I don't know.
I don't know if it's open.
Get him on the phone. See if the general manager's still there. That chick was nuts.
Yeah.
And I mean in a good kind of way, not
that's
a bad
compliment.
nuts.
Yeah, I got you.
I like chicks like that because you know they're up for anything, so to
I
speak.
hear you.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
By the way, everybody's crashing at the Memorial. So if you were watching Thursday golf like Harry Mays, pretty much everybody has decided, screw this. It's time to slam the trunk and give some of these young fellows an opportunity.
It was windy, very windy, and the greens were really fast.
These are professional. These are the best golfers
I know,
in the world,
but I'm just
Harry.
saying, like conditions like this can mess with these guys.
I have Gary Woodland. He's at 5 under.
Yeah, he's
with
at
the current
5 under.
leader. I tell you, it's the sprinkle hair, just a dash. Pick like 5 or 6 golfers. You throw like $10 on each. And you watch them. You watch them go.
What about Cantley? How's he doing?
There's only 48
Are we going to get like Mike Francesa and start doing a live leaderboard and then just sit there for 15 minutes?
Yeah.
And then Harry.
Well, that's content on his show nowadays.
Our buddy, the Funhouse up there at the Funhouse.
Love that guy.
He always
Whoever does
tapes.
that. We should get that guy on the show.
Yeah, I know. He's a fan of the program.
He is?
Yeah. We got to get him on.
We
I don't know.
should.
I think he's incognito. I don't think he likes anybody to know who he is. He's on the down low.
Well, he's not going to do a Zoom call. We just get him on a phone.
Now, he tapes the Mike Francesa show up there in New York, and it's on the Internet.
And he did the Cowherd show, too, for a little while. He was doing him.
But the Mike Francesa stuff is fun, not because he's mocking him, but because he just actually plays what he says. He's not doctoring the tape. He's not trying to make him look bad.
Yeah.
He just says, now listen to this. And Francesa did a live golf update, reading the leaderboard live.
It was painful.
And it was the start of his show.
Yeah.
He opened the show with that?
He opened the show, apparently, with that.
Well, Harry's opened the show ripping Dustin Johnson after he saw him 4-putt the
that's
opening
warranted.
hole. That's a bitter – because Francesa's not betting on it. When you bet on something, as Peter Brown proved on this show the other day, you have too much invested in it. So then, therefore, your angst and your anger is all directed at the guy who's costing you money.
There are only 27 guys under par.
Dude.
Yeah.
You know who's going to join us coming up this hour, Harry? Matt Vasgersian, old friend of the show. Another guy that I know.
Now, he's going to be calling the game next Thursday night,
next
right?
Thursday night. You've been waiting for baseball, Harry. We're a week away. How come you have that on your countdown clock?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
How many hours till baseball starts Thursday night, the 23rd? 1 week from tonight, Harry. I want the countdown clock live, local, and up to date.
7 days, 2 hours, and 50 minutes. That's
Are you
7
chomping
o'clock.
at the bit, Harry?
You know,
is there already a line on that game?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I think
Do we have the
Yankees
pitching
like
matchup
minus
already?
130 or something, if I remember. Couch guy.
The pitching matchups definitely Scherzer Cole.
Right. We figured that. Unless one of these guys gets the Rona.
Yeah, you just don't know how many innings they're going to go. They're probably only going to go maybe 3 innings.
Some guy you've never heard of will come out of the bullpen and get the win late in the game.
Mm-hmm.
And then they'll immediately become the number one guy on their fantasy team because he's got 1 save in 1 out of 60 games, Harry.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
I know, yeah.
Did you see D.D. Gregorius, the Phillies
former Yankee, yes?
former Yankee? He came out yesterday and said that he will be wearing a mask throughout the whole season. He's the first athlete to come on record and say that.
Let's give him a roaring round of applause for that.
Yankees are minus 128 at the Westgate.
And, of course, Matt Vasgersian is following me on Twitter.
Couch guy's really slow on the up. I thought he was going to get that
Yeah,
line
no,
there. What the hell's going on
We
over
did
there?
that last week, Har. Remember
No,
I
but,
said
hey,
guess
the lines
line for-
change. You think these lines just sit static? You don't think it's going to continue to change as we're a week out?
Yeah,
Come
they'll
on,
adjust
man.
a little bit, but
Come on,
minus
man.
128 is what it was last week. But
What it is what it is,
What
as
it
Charlie
was.
Manuel once said.
Telling you, hammer the spread on the Yanks, plus 138 at minus 1.5. Take
All right.
that.
Should we hammer it right now?
And then the Dodgers play the Giants on the nightcap.
Beautiful.
Doubleheader. Dodgers a big favorite, minus 300.
Can you name 3 guys on the San Francisco Giants roster?
Well, Posey's not on it.
Yeah, I mean, Posey's not on it. Half their pitching staff is gone.
Yeah.
Who do they have other than Gabe? Don't count Gabe out to start off the season, Harry. Gabe Kapler gets his guys ready, at least for the first 60 games, which is a good sign for the San Francisco Giants. I throw down a couple of shekels if I'm in Vegas and I'm betting a future on the San Francisco Giants over-under.
Does that Panic guy still play for the Giants, the second
Yeah,
baseman?
Joe Panic.
Is he still on the roster?
I think so. He's not panicking right now unless he gets the Rona or he hangs out with somebody on the streets of San Francisco. You're liable to get a lot of different things if you're walking around in downtown.
In the Tenderloin district.
Well, of course.
You know who the Giants brought back this season is the
Panda. Yeah. And there was a video of him.
Sandoval.
Did you see the video of him last week?
He's huge.
Oh,
yeah.
He looks like he ate Buster Posey.
Right.
What's he pushing? He's got to be pushing 3 bills easy.
I would think
Apparently,
so.
he's still got the range out there, though.
Yeah.
And he's got the microwave, and he's got the keg, and he's got the rolls, and he's got the desserts.
Grilling at
He's
third
got the
base.
dessert tray right there at third base.
Yep.
You can't have a live coach out there, but you can put out a table
Nice
and put a
spread.
couple of cannolis out there. Maybe you go down to get some. Go down to Boudin Bakery and get a nice one of those Boudin rolls, Robin, right?
Oh,
the bread bowls.
so
What were those
good.
cha-cha bowls that they sold?
Yes.
Those were fabulous.
The cha-cha bowls.
Cha-cha bowls.
It's good stuff, man.
Johnny Cueto's on that roster.
Absolutely.
And Samardzija, of course.
No, they got good pitchers. Meanwhile,
Hunter Pence is still on the Giants, Tom.
well, he went back to the Giants.
Yeah.
He went to the Texans, the Texas Rangers, and now he's back. Is he saying, let's go eat?
And Mike Yastrzemski.
That's right, Carl Yastrzemski's grandson, right? I believe.
Yeah.
Good player, too.
Evan Longoria.
Exactly.
Dude. Brandon
He will-
Crawford.
He'll have a Panda Express right there, too.
Yeah.
He'll have the full spread of all of them. I want the chicken. I want the broccoli and chicken. And, of course, I want the General Tso chicken out there and the almond chicken.
Oh, that's good.
Oh, man, I'm hungry right now, man. Not the Chinese chicken. We're coming back. Matt Vasgersian, baby. We're going to talk some baseball. So stick around. Yeah, Funhouse is back after this. That's his
that's
actual
his Twitter feed.
back
Yeah.
after
Yeah.
this.
Back after this.
All right. That is working. Hey, Matt.
I thought we weren't doing a Zoom.
We are.
Oh.
He was able to do it after
This is
all.
Matt Vasgersian, Harry. This is not some
We're still waiting
slapdick
for
sitting
him.
somewhere in the middle of Wisconsin.
We're
for
still
God's
waiting
sake.
for him to join audio here. Matt, can you hear us? Hey.
There he is, looking
What's up,
tan. Hi, how are you, Matt?
How you doing, man? Doing okay.
Not as good as you. You're all tan, looking buff. I mean, you're ready, man. You're ready for baseball.
I'm bored, man. It's pandemic boredom. I mean, that's all it is. Believe me.
Now, where are you? Are you on the West Coast? Are you in Connecticut? Where are you?
I'm in Secaucus, New Jersey, also known as the Big Town.
Exactly. So you're at the MLB Network studios, I take it, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now,
Matt-
have you left there? Or you've been hunkered down for months?
Just really quick, before we get back and go live, I just, Matt, just so that you know, you are going to be able to see them from the side. They're going to be looking straight ahead because I have you up on the big screen behind them so they can see you.
You're on the up
Okay.
on the
Do you want
prompter.
me? You want me up and down, Robin, landscape or portrait?
Oh, that's perfect right there. Like, no.
No, not sideways.
That way.
That way. Perfect.
That
Look
way.
at that.
Got it.
You're a professional at this, man. You're professional.
Trying to keep up.
So now, have you left the Secaucus area? Have you found the Secaucus 7, by the way? Are they still up there?
What's the Secaucus 7? Is
I
that
don't
a
know.
real
It's an
thing?
old- it's an old militant group, I think. Wasn't there a movie about them?
Jeez.
This is kind of fringe knowledge I bring to the table.
I like it. I thought it was the Central Park 7, but I'm mixing my metaphors again.
No, I think there was a Secaucus before the Central Park 7. The Return of the Secaucus 7 was a film directed by John Sayles, Bruce McDonald, Maggie Renzi, all-star cast.
1979.
The Return of the Secaucus 7. Seven baby boomers with ties to the anti-war movement of the 60s get together for a weekend. So I told you it was about a militant group. I know my militant groups. I'm part of them.
You just sent me down a Netflix rabbit hole. I'm going to look for that.
Abby Hoffman part of that crew?
Yeah, exactly. Come on, Harry. I'm a radical from back in the days. I
know.
used to march against the Vietnam War, back when marching meant something, not these meaningless everyday things where you just go out and give other people the Rona. We didn't have any Rona back then to worry about. Now, Matt, where you going? Are you hanging out with Sid Rosenberg in the tanning salons up there, man? You got a nice tan going.
Sid Rosenberg probably does have a chain of tanning salons that we don't know about.
He does. He admits it.
Yeah.
He admits it. He was getting into tanning salons during the complete shutdown of New York.
And his gym.
Yeah.
I've never met Sid, but I'm positive I would like him.
Oh, yeah.
Positive. No, I haven't left. We have not, my family, none of us have left the tri-state area since all this nonsense began. And, the biggest trip I'm going to have in the next 3+ months is my weekend drives to Bristol, Connecticut to do Sunday Night Baseball. That's the extent of my travel.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
I remember those days, driving from Philly to Bristol every weekend.
Are you back in Philly now, Tony?
Yes, I'm in we've been in the we were way ahead of the curve before it was even flat and before it even became a curve. I'm in my basement, which we call the wine cellar, because Robin and I redid it a couple of years ago. So we've been doing Twitch shows, and now we're on Sirius. So we've been doing shows down here, and now we got the Twitch stream, and then we've got SiriusXM, and we got SB Nation Radio.
And yes, actually, during the commercial breaks, like right now, before we go back on SiriusXM, the Twitch stream can still hear you. So
Absolutely.
all of this is
and now we're going to be on the mightier 1090 out in your old neck of the woods, man.
Really?
Welcome back to the Tony Bruno Show with Harry Mays on SiriusXM 211.
It is a Thirsty Thursday here in the wine cellar, in the epicenter of things that don't make any sense. Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Tony Bruno, Harry Mays, Miss Robin. We reunite. And again, it's like reuniting with people that I've known and worked with before. And when you think about the pandemic, you think of people sitting in their basements, pale, frail, not able to get outside. And then there's this guy, the great Matt Vasgersian, who used to be tan all the time when he lived on the West Coast. In San Diego, showing his lightning bolts, doing baseball all over. Now he's up there in the MLB Network studios in Secaucus, New Jersey, and he's getting ready to make trips up to Bristol, Connecticut. Matt Vasgersian joins us from ESPN. Matt, how are you, man?
Tony, it's good to see you. Good to be with you, man. This tan, by the way, don't be fooled by this. This is pandemic boredom tan at its finest. There is not a weed in my yard. It is spotless because I'm out there like the kind of weirdo that I am, making sure no bad weeds are there. There's no bugs I'm outside just looking for stuff to squash and pull. That's how I'm tan.
So that's how I get my sun. I haven't had much, but they're right. It's incidental sun. I don't go out and lay on the beach. It's not a Sid Rosenberg. I got to go to a tanning salon.
Fake and bake.
Fake and bake. You don't do the fake and bake, do you? No, I don't mean that kind of fake. That's wake and bake. Yeah,
right.
No, I'm not. I've never done either. Actually, I'm too worried about getting sick from the UV rays.
Exactly right. But you look good, man. You're ready. Baseball a week from tonight, Matt. Are you ready for baseball again? Did you think we'd ever live to see the day over the last couple of months that they would actually get something going, and they could have been playing by now? But we'll take it. We're a week away, man.
Yeah, you know what, Tony? I was a Pollyanna the whole time, and I really thought I was super optimistic that they were going to play the entire time. All the labor disagreements, the disagreements over protocols, pay, prorated salary. I thought there's way too much at stake here for them not to do this. The only time that I had a little pause was when Commissioner Manfred flew to Phoenix, had the widely reported 6-hour meeting with Tony Clark, the head of the Players Association, at the end of which they said, we are right there. It's a matter of dotting I's and crossing T's. It was being reported by every respectable baseball writer as a done deal, and then it wasn't because the Players Association called when the commissioner was somewhere over Nebraska flying back home and said, hey, you know what? I know we agreed on this, this, and this, but we actually need this as well. And it blew up. That was the only moment I had a little pause, but that was a short time, and here we are, as you mentioned, a week away from first pitch.
Well, Matt, do you view this season, regardless of what happens, as an asterisk type of season for whoever wins the championship?
I don't, man. You know, I mean, this is what it is. It's a tournament-style season. It's akin to a college season, a long high school season. We would all agree that 60 games might not reveal who the best-built team is. But whoever's best over 60 games is going to get a chance to win a World Series. And I say embrace the format, embrace the changes. All the so-called traditionalists who are pooping all over the extra innings rule and the 3-batter minimum, this is not your time to make those objections. You can do it next year. We're back to 162, hopefully. But this year, you have to allow for all the weirdness, all the changes to try to get the season in.
No, I agree with you. And Harry and I have been positive, too, not because we want to deny science or anything else, but, you know, the way these teams are getting ready, what they have at the disposal as far as testing and cleaning stuff up and all that, I figured they would do it. And, again, well, they're not going to do fans. Football's going to try to do some fans if there's a football season. Baseball's not. So they're really taking precautions. But the thing, obviously, that's going to be the most skewed is stats. You know, the 400 hitter, you know, who's going to win a Cy Young? I mean, are they even going to give out a Cy Young award and, you know, and the Rolaids Relief Award?
Yeah. Oh, Tony, you are dating yourself, man. They haven't done the Rolaids
I
Relief
know. That's why I
Award
wanted to
in
throw. I
years.
wanted to kick it old school, man.
Like Goose Gossage era.
Bruce Sutter got that, I think. Remember, he was a Rolaids Relief Man of the Year.
Right.
Don't we need the Rolaids Relief Man more than ever right now with all the agita we've gotten from all this crazy stuff we have to go through?
No question. But the way bullpens are run right now, the Rolaids Reliever of the Year would probably end up with 6 saves and 75 appearances, totaling about 30 innings. That's the way bullpens are run now. But look, to your point on the awards, I'd be okay with it either way, Tony. I know a lot of people are advocating strongly in favor of still doing the postseason awards, MVP, Cy Young. And it sounds a little selective, but I would say this. I have a better time with an MVP than I would a Cy Young Award winner because your best pitcher is what? He's going to get maybe 12 starts in this shortened season? That seems a little weird to me, but MVP, by definition, the most valuable player of a season, whether it's 60 or 16 games, they're still going to be a most valuable player. So I guess I'm kind of trying to have my cake and eat it too on those.
What are some of the bigger challenges for doing games? Now, you're going to be doing the games up in Bristol.
Yeah, he's going to be in the studio.
Right.
And he's going to be up there watching on a monitor and doing it. And then Buster Olney's going to be in D.C. on the field,
so he's
right?
going to be at the game.
Yeah, so Buster's going to be there from what I read, Matt. And you and A-Rod are going to be in Bristol, right? In the same booth, or you're going to have a window between you? How's that going to work? Sorry.
Yeah, we don't know what it's going to look like yet. I think they want us in the same room for the reason of making eye contact with one another. Not being at the ballpark means fewer things to distract both Alex and I. Buster will be in D.C. for this opener. And then I think the plan is where the host team is comfortable with it, they'll try to get to the ballpark if it's in the Northeast. But, on Sunday we're doing Giants-Dodgers, and Buster is not likely to be on the West Coast. In fact, I can say he's certainly not going to be on the West Coast. So it's going to be case by case. We don't know how it's going to look, how it's going to go. My only concern with all this is that in the broadcasters' kind of zeal to make things look good and sound good, everybody's using crowd noise, right? They're going to pump in crowd noise at the ballpark. They're going to do it through the broadcast. I don't want so much of that we lose some of the authenticity of what's happening on the field. I want to hear infield chatter. I want to hear the benches. I want to hear the umpire and the batter who just thinks he got squeezed talking about it. And with no fans, this could actually be pretty cool. I hope they embrace the real transparency of this. It could become really neat reality TV.
Matt Vasgersian, ESPN, Major League Baseball, a week away from tonight. I'm getting goosebumps already. Harry Mays here has a lot of questions, too. First of all, not about your tan, because he knows Sid Rosenberg. And Sid, there's no way. Although your tan is really good, man. I mean, I don't know. I'm obsessed by it.
You are.
You have a great. Because I'm
it's
whiter
a farmer tan.
I'm whiter than a ghost this year.
I'm not going to show you, but my torso looks like your forehead right now, Tony.
So is mine.
It's pure farmer tan.
Yeah. Well, what's it going to be like doing games now with the possible next owner of the New York Mets?
First of all, I will say on the record that I hope that happens, and not just because I think I could score a couple of tickets every once in a while. Again, this is going to sound, because I work with Alex, because I'm friendly with Alex, and I've spent time with Jennifer. Even if that wasn't the case, if Major League Baseball really is serious about growing the game, appealing to a younger dynamic, is there anything sexier than having Jennifer Lopez own a team in the biggest market in the free world? Really?
Yeah.
And by the way, if you really want to go down the road of inclusiveness and diversity, how about a Latina female owner?
Yeah.
Is that redundant? I think that's redundant, by the way, to see
Yes,
Latina female. To have a Spanish speaker, and the game is 35% Spanish speaking as it is, who's a huge star, maybe the biggest in the free world, own the team. If it doesn't happen with the Mets, I would imagine that there is more than one NBA franchise that would really want to kick the tires on bringing Jennifer Lopez into their ownership group.
Now it sounds like you're
makes
trying to
nothing
get
but
it. Wait,
sense.
it sounds like you're trying to work your way into a sequel to Hustlers, as a guy in the club when the girls are in there, taking care of all those dumb guys who are giving them money and then they turn the tables. I don't want to give away the plot.
I didn't see the movie.
I don't want to give away the plot. But have you seen Hustlers?
I have seen Hustlers. And I'll stop short of saying, I lived it as a victim, because I didn't. But I think all of us could identify with the poor slobs that were in there getting taken for everything they got. Hey, Hustlers was a good film. Jennifer was great in that movie.
She was.
And that's
She
the
was
one
terrific.
thing. She can dance, sing, act. And by the way, if she owned the Mets, that's a slam dunk.
Absolutely. Walk-up song. Now, will there be walk-up songs even though there's nobody? I want the organ to go, I need music. I need noise. I don't want to hear quiet baseball with a cavernous stadium and then all the empty reverb noise. Like the guy who went into the Costco and picked up the phone.
The intercom.
Did you see that video? The guy in the Costco picks up and then he drops one and it reverberates through the entire Costco facility.
That gave us almost an hour of content last week, Matt.
Yeah. Hey, look.
There it is.
I like it. The old radio guy in me. I've suggested this, and they didn't take me up on my services, but I would like to provide my own kind of audio tracks over the scoreboard. A guy kicks one in the outfield. I got my own little sound effect thing right here.
You got to bring a 360
guy,
machine into the booth, like I have right here.
Yeah, that's what a guy strikes out. Stuff like that.
Yeah.
Why not?
Boom, boom, boom,
Boom. Yeah, we have one of these right here, man. You have to have the Price is Right theme in there. The failure of the Price is Right horn.
Imagine if you did that. If there was a guy with a laptop doing exactly what you're doing and kind of poking fun at the players, the players would be so pissed off.
Oh yeah.
They look up to the press box. You can make eye contact with anybody in the stadium with nobody there. And, you'd get a lot of this and, hey, you, all that kind of thing. It'd be kind of fun.
The guy would get the bat and point it up to the press box looking for the play-by-play guy. Wouldn't be able to find him.
But he's in Bristol.
He's in Bristol, Connecticut. It's a great opportunity for you to do.
Will there be a cardboard cutout of Matt and Alex Rodriguez in the broadcast booth like there will be in the stands for some of these teams?
That's a great question, Matt. Will you be will it be cutouts behind home plate so when people are watching, they could picture you being there?
That's a great idea. I know that the A's and Giants are doing it. The Red Sox are doing it. Somebody actually put a bunch of us from MLB Network in Miller Park at a Brewers game. But if we want to do it on our own behalf, it's $99 a pop, and I'm way too cheap to do that. I'm not spending $99 on
You work for
cardboard
MLB
image of
Network and
myself.
ESPN. You know how much money they have?
I'd try to expense it. It would get sent back.
I would just love to see behind home plate like 1,000 cardboard cutouts of Kirkchen.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like right behind home plate.
Yes. Well, you know who should be there?
Army.
You know who should do this and just walk into the ESPN booth with you and then make a special appearance. One of the all-time great drop-ins of all time, Matt, and I still have it here.
It's not that busy, man. It's not that busy.
Sut, man. Sut's got to stop by and join you and say, which I say to you all the time.
You guys have me cracking up all the time.
You guys have me cracking up all the time. I know. It's one of the greatest moments in baseball history. A lot of people may not know what we're talking about, but you were doing it. Was it L.A. or San Diego where that happened?
It was in San Diego. It was home game.
Petco.
And Rick was at the ballpark with Bill Murray. And they were having a good time, and he decided it was his first year not being a part of our broadcast booth. So, we're friends. We worked together for a long time. He was very comfortable coming up and saying hi to the crew in the booth. putting on a headset and letting it eat. And that was the kind of stuff you got. And poor Rick, man, nobody we Mark Grant and I were accused of kind of coercing him into that, and that was not the case. That it just happened